So, Mr. Michael, where would you like to begin?
Where do I want to begin? Well, it started when I was 20, and I entered an illegal street race in Velasco City, California. I was driving my K-Series KC6TX, that was the model. It was going really well. Really well. We were just going down the road, and then that's when the blue and red lights. The highway was closed off for construction, and so we had open range. It wasn't a matter of just keep on going until we reach the gas station, but no, just throttle it and get as far away from this guy as possible so that we don't go to jail. And one of us didn't go to jail. I ended up crashing and almost dying into a pole. Well, they had to call an ambulance from Firewood County to transport me to the hospital. They said that I was going to be going away for a year. Then, a year later, I'm 21 at this point, and I remember it was one afternoon. I don't remember exactly when, but it was one afternoon. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hear this just crash outside my house. And I go out, and there's just this guy, this really big guy. And this is what I've always called him. I called him Big C. He was very sorry. He was freaking out, saying, "Oh, no, man, I'm sorry, man. Don't throw me under a bus like this. I'm sorry. I can pay for it." Out of nowhere, he just says, You know what? Let me just do something for you. Let me offer you a job. All you gotta do, meet me at the harbor. And at first I was like, what am I gonna do for you exactly? I told Big C that I would think about it. So I head down to the harbor. Once I get down to the harbor, I meet up with Big C, and he's coming from behind this 18-wheeler. He says, "Man, I didn't know you were gonna show up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I thought, you know what? Why don't I take the offer? Might as well. See what happens." I told him, what exactly is the job? He said, "We gotta get this truck to Savannah, Georgia." And I'm thinking, Georgia? That's all the way across the country. "Yeah, we gotta get there within 3 days. 3 days, and we gotta catch a boat. And if we're not there by the end of the 3rd day, that boat's gonna leave. And we cannot let that happen." I asked him, what is my role in all this? And he said, "You, my friend, are gonna be the person that takes care of any sort of law enforcement." And he explained everything to me, that which route we're taking, and we took off. We went through Nevada, and then finally, things kind of didn't go too well when we reached Utah. I was stopping for gas, and next thing you know, a cop pulls up behind me. He mentioned that I didn't have plates on the car, and he was telling me, "You can't drive this car on the road. I can't just leave Big C just out of nowhere." What do? I book it. I'm gone. I hit the highway, and I saw a couple of police cars coming from the other direction trying to catch up with me. I eventually pull off into a side road. I'm winding up this mountain. Up ahead, I see this mine shaft that they decided to close down. I went through there to try to dip away from the cops, and I nearly crashed a couple times, but I got through. A couple hours later, I heard over the radio, he was at the gas station that I was at earlier. I whipped the car into the gas station, and I am just freaking out to Big C. I'm saying, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I can't do this. And Big C was like, "You really cannot do that. I need you, kid. I need you to take care of some business. But until we get to Savannah, you're still on the clock." He told me to calm down, and we're gonna go to a motel a few more hours down the road. So the very next day, we went through Colorado, Kansas, and Missouri, and we stopped again at a motel, spent the night, and we took off the next morning. So once we got into Georgia, cops were everywhere. tracking me down. They were hunting me down. And I completely lost track of time because they were chasing me just nonstop. And it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was on a side road that was leading back to the main road. And lo and behold, I see Big C caught up to him, and it was a home stretch. The cops were about a mile behind me, and they were closing in fast. So I was like, Big C, we have to hurry this up. The cops are coming. Why are there so many cops here? He told me that it's because of all the laws we were breaking. So we pull into the harbor. He takes off to the boat, and for some weird reason, I decided to stop my car. And something in me told me, just keep going, just go, don't stop. But another part of me was saying, just don't do this. So I turned my keys off and I get myself out. I stopped, the cops surrounded me, they told me to get out of the car, and that was that. They told me I was sentenced to 50 years for drug trafficking. What happened was that Detective Sherman or something, he said, they told me that he had been tracking this guy named Terry Goldman. They went to the warehouse that we were at and found a bunch of documents saying that there was 10,000 pounds worth of cocaine being shipped in the back of that truck. They had notified Georgia about where we were going. They couldn't pin me for any of the actual doing of the drugs, but I told them my side of the story. Here we are 10 years later. Do I regret it? Oh, most definitely, I regret it. Would I ever do it again? No.